Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. We are here at Airgun Expo 2024, and this is the official start of our week. Well, I guess our last video on our YouTube, kind of the orientation schedule, day one's introduction, was our first official video, but this is our first official live, and we are taking a look at the Gamo Swarm Magnum 10X Gen 3i. It's the Swarm Magnum Pro, actually. Yeah, we're going to jump into this. We're going to talk about the gun. We're going to talk about some optics choices down the road if you want to look at an upgraded optic. We're going to talk about why you may want to do that. Also, why you may not want to do that. So we're talking about that. We'll look at some performance numbers, and we're just going to have fun. It is a beautiful day in West Texas. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. We have Gateway to Airgun. Like all of these guys that you see on the card here, these are all companies that help support the GTA. Check it out. It's gatewaytoairguns.org is our forum. 20-some thousand users, I think 23,000 users, over 2.3 million posts. It's been up for like 20 years, guys. So if you're into air guns, this is a great resource. It's members to members type communication. So you guys have a great opportunity to share and talk and get some great information. So check it out, gatewaytoairguns.org. We need to sue. Just as a note, we may want to make sure we add the gatewaytoairguns.org link in our docs, because I don't think I put that in there. I have the gatewaytoairguns.com. We'll get to that in a minute, but we need to add the .org. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is Airgun Army. Airgun Army is kind of, I actually got this going before I bought the GTA, and Airgun Army is a forum, but with a different, kind of a different take. It's really designed not only for members to communicate and have a lot of fun that way, but also we have space for vendors, we have space for manufacturers, we have space for creators. So this is something that's a little bit bigger scope. So we're gonna be talking more about that as we go through this week. And this is gonna be a major push on the other side of Expo. So definitely check out airgunarmy.com. Lastly, please go to the airgunexpo.com. That is where you see back here on this banner, maybe you switch to camera, whatever that one is. Two. Switch to camera 2. Back on this banner, all of the logos there are the folks that are supporting the Airgun Expo directly. So you can go to that website, click on any of their logos, take a look at their products. You can reach out to them directly on the page as well. Let's go back to camera 3 here. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing now that we've got that out of the way. Gamo is a major sponsor across the board. Gateway to Airguns, AirgunWeb, the Airgun Expo, they are a huge supporter of the channel and what we do here. So big thank you to Gamo Daisy. This is their like top shelf kind of mass production consumer gun. This is the Gamo Swarm Magnum Pro Gen 3i. We're going to go through what all that means. But this is their top performer right here. It's a beast of an airgun, guys. We've taken this iguana hunting, squirrel hunting, all manner of just target shooting and everything. This is a real performer. If you're looking for something that produces a good bit of power, like not full-on PCP power, but pretty close to it, with good accuracy, good repeatable accuracy, and it's a multi-shot, even though it's a break barrel, this is really the king as far as I'm concerned. I've shot a lot of other multi-shot break barrels, and they all fall short compared to what this brings to the table. Let's go through the name. So the Magnum means it is their Magnum. What has this sort of distinguishes this from their other guns? It has a larger compression chamber. Now the way a spring gun or gas ram gun works, these guys, they're break barrels, they don't have like a pressure chamber in the sense of like a PCP or a CO2 or a multi-pump. What they have is just a pocket here that's got ambient air. So we're at 4,600 feet. So altitude matters with these. So if you're at sea level, air's thicker. It's like having more gunpowder, right? So you have more volume, more mass. So when it compresses, you get more velocity. Up here, we're gonna take probably 50 to 75 feet per second off the top just because of altitude. Now I've also shot these guns at 9,000 feet over in the north rim of the Grand Canyon hunting kaibab squirrels, and it's even more dramatic. So we saw 100 to even 150 foot per second drop in velocity based on altitude. So spring guns are great because you get a lot of power, one cock, good to go, but they can be either sometimes weather dependent and sometimes altitude dependent. Not that you can't shoot them, but you need to know that you're not maybe getting full performance out of it. So up here, we're gonna take probably 50 to 75 feet per second off what the potential is at sea level, maybe even a little bit more. And at sea level, this gun can absolutely slam. Now, today we're gonna be shooting just the Gamo Red Fires. Now, why, Rick, are you just shooting the Gamo Red Fires? Well, because they work really, really good in this gun. I've tested a bunch of different pellets, and I always come back to the Gamo red fires for whatever reason. In the brake barrels, in the Gamo brake barrels, they really, really do well. So that's what I'm just gonna stick to. We've got steel targets out to 100 yards. Now, that's where like the scope choice becomes potentially something you wanna consider. I have had no problems with the factory scope. So I know folks are gonna argue that, and it could be purely that I don't sit down in my backyard, even though I have a huge backyard, and shoot 50 to 100 shots a day with it. If I did, maybe you'd see a problem. I don't. I shoot on occasion, and I shoot so many different guns. To circle back around and shoot this a ton is just, it's not something I do. When I pick it up, it's always on. It works. I shot this back in February for the Gamo Squirrel Master Classic. I did a video, did a tutorial, took it out today. It's hitting the same place. So, you know, good to go as far as I'm concerned. Will you eventually beat the scope up? Yeah, now why would that happen? Well, going back to the way this whole compression chamber works, you have ambient air. The way you get power is there's a big piston in here. When you cock the gun, it compresses. When you fire, it flies forward. You have a big steel, heavy piston, and it slams in front of this compression chamber, and it creates a jump forward recoil, like a forward recoil on the gun, which that type of recoil can absolutely trash scopes. So the scope has to be designed for that in mind. These scopes are. How, you know, it reminds me of the old, how many licks does it take to get the center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't know, because I'll just go 1, 2, 3, and then bite it. So I don't know how many shots it takes to kill a scope. I don't know. I have had good success with it. All that to say, I've had good success. Now, I don't shoot 1,000 rounds a month, so you guys that shoot far more and this is your only gun and this is what you're doing every day, let me know. Let me know, hey Rick, I got 5,000 rounds or I got 100 rounds or whatever. And then I'd be curious to ask some other questions, because there's literally hundreds of thousands of these going out on the market. I mean, every year. I mean, hundreds of thousands of this going out. And from what I've heard, the return rate is not huge. So with all that said, okay, it's a duplex reticle. My big complaint on the scope is not its durability. There's two. One is, and two, like complaint or observation? We'll say observation, because price point. Okay, so I wish it had an adjustable objective, which means I wish I could dial in the parallax so that it was accurate at close range. Can't do that. And I do wish it had a mil dot. If they just put a mil dot reticle in this, I think that would be awesome, because this gun will actually hit at 50, 75, and 100 yards. But I can't do so accurately because I have no way to really judge the distance right? I have no real accurate way to judge the holdover. And that's where swapping a scope could be something you want to do. Now, I've got 3 scopes here on the table from Hawk. They sent these out. I asked specifically for some airgun scopes. I have some really gorgeous scopes for them, which we're going to have on our PCPs. At the Frontier 34, I've got the Sidewinders, I've got the Endurances, I've got the regular Frontiers. I got some really nice glass for my PCP guns. But I was light on inventory for the brake barrels. So I asked for Vantage and I asked for Air Max. Those are their sort of airgun focused, more budget focused scopes. Budget, I put in air quotes because we as air gunners are generally frugal, we'll just say that, all right, frugal, i.e. cheap. We don't like to spend a lot of money on stuff, but optics cost, like if you're gonna get a really nice scope for your rifle, it could be 2, 3, 4 times what you paid for the rifle is what you're paying for your scope, right? We don't tend to do that. We tend to spend maybe 25% or half of what we put on our gun. We're thinking that's a lot to put in a scope. Well, when you buy that class scope, you get that class performance, right? So these Hawk options are a little bit more money, but they have good durability, good features, and a great warranty. So the one concern you have with like the Swarm is the Swarm mechanism itself. So this gun, as you see, is plenty of clearance. So when I go to cock this gun, it's not going to get in the way, right? No problem. So if I went with a standard, well, this is really the longest, biggest Vantage IR. If I tried to put this on here, we're going to have a problem, okay? It's going to impact. So this isn't a good option. But we can go to the Air Max. This is the Air Max. I think this is the 4 to 12. This is just a standard, no frills scope. It's got an adjustable objective. It's got a really nice reticle, but it's not illuminated or any of that other stuff. As you can see, we're going to be able to drop that on and it's going to work fine. So I'm thinking, you guys let me know. I don't have it scheduled, but let me know if you want to do it, if you want me to do it. I'm thinking that we'll swap the scope out and see what we can do at range. If you guys want me to do that, put it in the comments, let me know. Maybe we can talk about it tonight on our live wrap, because I was thinking about that just earlier, that might be a fun way to incorporate brake barrels at range with changing the optic altogether. So that might be fun to do. Now, when you get to like their smaller swarms, like and we have a couple that we're going to shoot. We have the, I think it's the Viper, and then I think I have the Fusion on the schedule, the Viper and the Fusion. They're shorter, so there's less range here, less distance here, and that's where the Air Max Compact comes in. As you can see here, that's right even with their factory scope, so we should be fine with that. We're going to probably throw that on one of those guns, see how it does. But anyway, that's the discussion for now. Let's sit down and do some shooting, and we'll go through some of the performance. I've got the True Ballistics Crony here. This was sent over to us by Utah Airguns, like super huge. My wife's saying, hold it up. Super huge thank you. Now, what is this? This is not your traditional Crony with like sky screens and stuff that I can't actually use under here because this is dark enough. I don't have enough light. So I need to either use like IR screens, and then I'm dealing with this. My angle right? Am I shooting it correctly? Am I perfectly? It's a problem. This solves that. Now, they do have like the pocket Crony that you can hang on your gun, but you can't do that with a brake barrel. Worked great on PCPs though. But this is just freestanding, sits here. It's radar. It hooks up to my phone. Not only gives me my velocities, but it gives me velocities at different ranges, calculates my ballistic coefficients, tells me what my holdover is. It's awesome. It's expensive, but if you're, like I've said this over and over and over, you're gonna hear me say it a lot this week. If you're a true hobbyist and you like love data and numbers like I do, save your pennies, you know, do what you gotta do, because a tool like this is really, not only is it a lot of fun, but it's super valuable. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the scopes off. We're gonna go ahead and talk about loading the magazine, and we're gonna start taking some shots, see what kind of results we get on the Crony today. I think we're connected. All right, before we get going, I'll tell you about these guys. I specifically requested these because I saw these on Hawk's website. And these are their Frontier LRF binocs because they have an integrated laser rangefinder. I think that's really cool. Top of the line glass, ED glass, super nice, clear, unbelievably clear. Just really, really nice optics. But the idea that I can just pull this up, put my indicator on that little chicken, and it tells me I'm 25.7 yards out. That's awesome. Okay.
Is the chicken the first one?
Chicken's the first one, yes ma'am. Okay. All right, I'm gonna set those right there. We got them if we need them. Now I should be connected. I'm just running a test profile. Let's see. All right, the awesomeness that is the Swarm is the magazine. This little guy here holds 10 pellets. You can buy additional ones, right? You load them up, throw them in your pocket, and you're good to go. You don't have to fumble around. You just swap the mag when you're done, and it just works. These mags are like the last iteration, or the most recent iteration of the system, and it's called the Gen 3, it's the Generation 3, and I stands for inertia, because the previous mags that didn't have that feature, if you were to, say, be walking out in the woods, oh, I'm going to take a shot, you cock your gun, and all of a sudden this target of opportunity is no longer there. Now you've got a cocked, loaded, ready to roll gun, and most people, maybe they put their safety on, maybe they walk around with it like that. Seldom do you clear the gun and start over. What happens now is you're walking through the woods, and you come up on the next target of opportunity, and you cock your gun again out of habit, and now you've jammed 2 pellets into the breech, which is not what you want to do. Not only will that potentially damage your gun, well, that's really it. It's going to throw off your shot and potentially damage your gun. So what the inertia-driven mag does is, and maybe what we can do for when we edit these is I'll get some slow-mo. I have some in stock footage, but maybe I'll get it again. When the gun fires, well, when you cock the gun, this stays on an open hole in the cylinder. When the gun fires, it jars the mechanism, and that triggers the advancing to the next pellet. So the likelihood of double feeding is reduced greatly. It's not impossible, but it's reduced, which is the whole point. I'll load up this last mag and then we'll get started. I would like to talk a little bit about how to, in a pinch, if all you have is a duplex scope, how can you be able to shoot accurately at least to like 50 yards? And I'm gonna try and demo that, okay? I'm gonna give it a shot and see how I do. We'll see how my shooting skills work out today. But a duplex reticle is broken up into thin and thick lines. You have, the first lines are thin and then they get thicker. That demarc where they break, where it goes from thin to thick, is you can adjust your magnification, which changes the picture but not the size of the reticle, and that can actually help you. So like if you're sighted in at 25 and you want to shoot at 50, you can maybe adjust your magnification so that demarc is right where you're going to impact at 50. That's how I get around the no mil dot reticle, and it works good enough. So right here is where your magazine drops in, and it just puts in, click it, and you're ready to go. Now when I cock the gun, it loads a pellet. Now I'm going to try and show you on the camera here. If I can zoom in, I don't know if you can see that. There's a hole's empty. Now when I fire, I'm going to show you this to you again. You'll see that it has moved. And I talked too long. Crony went off. And I'm going to make sure I'm aimed at the target. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, I have talked a lot about technique and shooting on these, and I would encourage you to look at my videos on it. I'm probably not gonna back over here on camera too.
Yeah. Do you want me to have the target as the main
I think
thing?
target main cam, me in the little window.
Okay. Done.
All set. Let's see if I've got the crony connected right. We're gonna shoot that little chicken. Here we go.
800.
What are you shooting? Because that was not on my camera.
I'm shooting the first target. Are you on the turkey?
I think I am. I apologize.
Okay. Well, I can talk about
I
what
thought
we're
it looked like a turkey, not a chicken.
We're on this one. Let's see what I got for shot here. So, okay, view shots. That was 25.3 foot-pounds. So let me clear that string because I had this set up wrong. I apologize. New string. We'll do it again. Okay. View shots. All right. Are you on it now?
I'm on it now.
Yay!
I apologize for that.
And it hit a little bit low. Let's take another shot. So these are 15.4 at 8:59. So that's, like I said, 25, 24 and some change, 25 and some change. There it is.
863.
Yeah. So 25.5. My sort of optimal distance for a gun like this is 25 yards. Now, you talk to Harold down there with Iguana Lifestyles in Miami, and he shoots 7,500 yards with these all day and is consistent. I am not. He is like much better at it than I am. But yeah, for me, 25 yards is my optimal. I have taken game beyond that, but really, for my confidence level, 25 yards is where I like to live. You have a question, Sue?
800.
No, just those birds were incredibly loud. I thought they were in my ears, but they weren't.
We've got some baby birds behind us over in the nest. And they, when mommy and daddy come back or mom comes back to feed them, they tend to make a bit of noise. Sort of like our daughter. Feed me. Okay. Looks like I'm dropping just a teeny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit low.
65.
It's very consistent. I mean, we're 25 foot-pounds. Now this, at sea level, you're going to see closer to 30, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to come up with that a little bit. And then I've got some spinners on the ground. I don't know if we want to shoot those or if we want to just go straight to 50.
We always want to shoot the spinners.
Yeah, okay. The
Their
flip-up
reaction
targets.
is so it's
Yeah.
I mean, so is this one, but
I love steel targets.
yeah. Pretty much
That was
the same
26. I mean, yeah, it's just, this is just a super consistent gun. There it is.
872.
Yeah, we're 26 foot-pounds now. I tell you, that is really good. I have some PCPs that are shooting 26, 25, so we're talking PCP power. Now, I wish it had the PCP ease of shooting because you do have to have proper technique to shoot this. But it's, oh, you know, I was going to show you. Now that I've fired,
hold on, camera 3.
now that I've fired, it has the
Oh, yeah.
pellet in place.
We can see that.
So it's very, very cool how that works. I mean, it really solved the problem. All right, this is our last shot. And,
Are you going for this?
oh, hold on, this is my
chicken
last
again?
shot. I have a few more shots. I'm gonna go for the chicken again, yeah. I just wanna make sure we're on.
Okay. I made the chicken the small picture now.
Okay. Yeah.
864.
I mean, now that I've got the scope adjusted, we're like right on it. Last time I was shooting this was down in Alabama. So again, at 25 yards, you'll have a change in your point of impact if your velocity changes too much. So yeah, we're in good shape. Okay, so the turtles are a heavier gauge metal, so this may
Okay, then
not
shoot the
flip
one
them.
on the left. It's clearer on camera anyway.
Okay, there's a nice bush in the way.
Yeah, typical.
So it'll focus on that nicely for you. Okay. We're gonna just leave the Crony running. You guys can see why this Crony is so awesome. If I had the standard Crony with the sky screens, they're great, affordable. I use them for years and years and years and years and years and years. But the idea that I could just point this towards my target and shoot without having to be super precise over is like so nice. It saves me so much time. And the data I get is awesome because all of the data, if I'd set up a profile for this gun and I pull that profile up, it'll constantly keep record of every profile per gun. So I can go pull my gun, check out, see all my shot strings for that gun and list them all out, tell me what time it was, what the temperature was, I mean, it just,
Wow.
it is awesome. Yeah, it's just super, super nice. And if this is your hobby, if this is what you're really doing, this is what you get enjoyment and fun out of, and you're like me, I love data and numbers, just love it. So I think that's why I enjoy this work so much. Then this is like a godsend for a piece of equipment. It's awesome. All right, Rick, don't screw up. No pressure,
Hold on,
right?
let me move. I need to move that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's out of position with the,
And I'm all like zeroed in, man.
I'm going to need to relock that on.
I'm going to aim dead center on the paddles. Hopefully we're good to go here. You just let me know when you're ready, hon.
Go for it.
Okay.
Good.
856.
Now, cocking energy or cocking force on this, it's a lot. You'll get a nice workout. It's not undoable, but it's a lot. So people are going to ask, I guess I'm going to talk about it. People are going to ask, why am I not resting on the rest or the bag? It's because these guns need to be held with the same pressure, the same position, the same trigger pull every single time to see consistency. There's where the skill comes in. That's the super important part, is to learn that technique and be consistent with it. It's very quiet too. I mean, we have a lot of mechanical noise, but there's no shot noise, and the moderator does make a difference with that. Okay, one more shot, and then I'd like to try and see if I can find what magnification gives me the right position for my split in the duplex so that I can hit at 50. So let's do that after I take this shot. Hopefully I clear this properly and I don't shank it. We know the gun's good. Whether or not I can do it is like the question.
860.
All right. Had a little inconsistency on the targets, but hey, I hit every single one and we got it done. So there you go. And we're looking at 25 and some change foot-pounds up to 26.4. So
There's a pattern there, just so you know.
yeah.
Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, almost bottom, and then top.
You'll find, and this is probably a product that if this is gonna be your gun, don't switch to other guns. Let this be your gun, because the position, the tension, the literally I've had springers. Let's switch to this camera. I literally had springers that mattered if my thumb was there or there, whether or not it was accurate or not, consistently. So I've shot some like this. Back up. The Pro I like over the Standard because I really like this stock shape. Okay, the Standard is a thumb hole grip and it limits it. To me, I don't like having to go like this. I prefer my thumb on the edge or maybe right up the back of the stock here. Just shooting comfort for me. Ergonomically, I prefer that. I like the way the grip feels. I like the way this cheek rest feels. Now, some people, I have some friends that shoot this gun and they absolutely hate this checker or the stippling and stuff. I love it. So it's, you know, to each their own. They find it uncomfortable. I find it very comfortable. So that is super subjective. This format of that stock works for me. Sorry, I just smacked the mic. This works for me. I really enjoy the way this lays out and works. That's my personal preference. So they do have the regular Swarm Magnum in the thumb hole grip, and maybe you prefer that. I prefer the Pro. I prefer this stock, like hands down. That's me personally. All right, 50 yards, hun. You're gonna have to move the camera.
Okay.
And I think
50 yards is the
turkey. I think, like, I'm at 3 power, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna shoot over it if I use that. Okay. We'll see what happens here. I'm gonna just leave it on 3 power because that's what I've been shooting.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put the thin line and then the thick line, and right where they meet is what I'm gonna use to aim. We'll see if I hit over or under, and then see if I can adjust the magnification to make it usable. Let's find out. Okay. I'm just using the D-mark. Let's take a shot. I'm gonna aim dead center of the turkey. Way high. Wow.
71.
Had like no drop. I'm just gonna aim. I don't think I need to use that. I'm just gonna aim dead center of the turkey with the crosshairs because that was very little drop, and that was 26 foot-pounds. Did you hear how that sizzled through the air?
No.
Oh gosh,
I have too many things in my ears.
It was nice. And then the nice satisfying thud on the bank. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go center mass on turkey.
800.
Hit a little bit low left. That's not enough for me to be able to use the magnification to adjust. I would just need to aim. I'm gonna aim at the top of the turkey's back. It wants to push a little left. Let's see if it stays that way. I don't know, maybe it'll stretch it out to 75. Okay, I'm gonna aim at the top of the turkey's back.
860.
About the same spot?
Yeah, it must have been because I didn't see
I
it.
must have dropped. We got a few shots left. All right, I'm gonna try to do better. Top of the turkey's back. There it is.
874.
All right, so that's 50 yards. I think we should stretch it to 75. I'm gonna take one more shot at 50 and then we'll go to 75 because, well, first of all, it's fun. I love shooting steel targets.
You could shoot one of the little spinners down below.
Well, I could try.
Well, maybe if you aim for the turkey, you will get it.
Thank you. Thanks for that, dear. There it is.
856.
All right, so I really think we drop like a true mil-dot scope, like a better optic. You're gonna have far more capacity to do better. This is a 50-yard gun. With this setup, I would shoot 25 yards all day. I would not try and take game at 50, unless I was Harold. Harold does it, awesome. I'm not Harold. Let's try 75 yards, and I think we're out. So
75?
75.
And that's pig.
That's the
right?
piggy. Now I was shooting at 100 with this earlier, so I know that can be done. Not not like it was like grouping, but I could hit a 2-foot board. It's not 2 foot. I could hit the ram. But I think the limiting factor here is going to be more so the optic when we start stretching it out. In your backyard, 25 yards, that kind of stuff, get started, no problem. You want to do more, you're going to want to look for another optic. Okay.
Hang on.
All right, let me know when you're on the piggy. I'm going to this time use the D-mark again. I try to. Actually, let me bring it up to 5 power. Okay. That may be about right, Sue.
Let's see if I can get it.
Let me know.
Yeah, I've got it.
You got it? All right, so I've put the scope on 5 power. It's a 3 to 9, so I put it on 5. So what that does is my reticle stays the same, the picture gets closer, which decreases the space. I don't know how else to describe it. That's just what it does. So now, let's see, if I hit up, down, let's see. High.
855.
Okay. I've brought it up to like 7.5. Oh, no, I missed.
853.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it back down to 5 again. Oh, too much adjustment. All right. Okay, it's pushing to the left.
68.
All right, the gun shakes quite a bit when I fire, so I need to know where I'm hitting. So can you tell me left, right, up, down?
All right.
Low.
800.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stop because I don't know what I'm doing. This is where I think we just sort of fall off the usability. But I could go back to 25 yards and we'd be drilling. So that is the Swarm Magnum Pro Gen 3i, 10X Gen 3i. And I really, for brake barrels these days, multi-shot brake barrels these days, really awesome. Now, the one thing I don't have on the schedule, and I don't know, we might pull it out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we pull it out or not. Is the bone collector. If you look at the power scope of what Gamo delivers, you have the Viper and the Fusion class, which is like their standard, and then you have the bone collector, which has a larger air cylinder, a larger chamber, but still a short throw. And they have the Magnum, which is the larger air chamber with a longer throw. So this is your highest power, but the bone collector sits right in the middle. So it's really kind of a cool in-between gun, and it would be like perfect for the Hawk compact, Air Max compact, and that's what I was thinking about putting on that. So I might do that, and that might be a really fun video. Let's see if we get to that this week. If not, it's something we'll certainly do after Expo. Guys, that's gonna be it. We just spent 40 minutes hanging out here with the Gamo rifle and the Hawk optics, and well, we talked about Hawk optics and our chronograph, and I've had a good time. Our next video is what, hun?
Our next live?
Yeah, our next live.
Our next live is the NEA Hubin.
Oh, the Hubin. Oh,
25.
yes. Okay, so we're going to get to that next. We're going to actually be able to run the optics right into the board so you guys can see what the ATN sees in real time, which is so cool. We've never been able to do that before, and I am super excited to show you guys. If you haven't already been seeing what we're doing, because we've done it a bunch already, it's going to be awesome. So stay ready. Stay tuned for that one. What time is that one coming up?
That is at
10:30?
10:30.
All right, so 10:30, it's 9:40 now, so a little less than an hour. We'll be back, and we're going to be shooting some more great air guns. Guys, that's going to be it. Remember, please go check out our sponsors. The sponsors for the show, you can check them out at theairgunexpo.com. If you like something like you saw, oh gosh, that Gamo is cool, I want to learn more about them, or I want to reach out to Gamo, you hit the Gamo or hit the Gamo logo. It'll drop you to their page. There's information there. There's a form at the bottom. You can fill it out and talk to them directly as well. So that's super cool. If you like the Hawk stuff or the Crony stuff, you can go to those folks, go to the Hawk button, go to the Utah Airguns button. Just click that, you jump to their page. If you reach out to them, please let them know that you saw them here at Airgun Expo, because that's going to help us out a ton. That's going to be it for now. My name's Rick here with AirgunWeb, Gateway to Airguns, the Airgun Army. See you in a little bit.